Okay. Okay, it looks like we're live. I think we're set to go. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming out for this second weekend of Nibbin Inkfest events. We're so excited to have y'all here. My name is Joan Zahra Dark. I'm going to be your host for today's roundup of events, and I'm excited to welcome you to the coloring portfolios we have running with Jordie Bellaire. Uh, for folks joining us in the Zoom chat live, we're going to have a few folks who've submitted coloring portfolios to have reviewed. If you are one of the people is being reviewed currently, or would like to be on mic, please go ahead and raise your hand with the Zoom function or say so in chat. And we'll be sure to include you in that respective segment. And as with all of these events, we have captions and a transcript running for anyone that would like to use them. But I'm going to go ahead and introduce our presenter today. Jordie Bellaire is an Eisner and Ringo winning colorist, best known for her color work on Birds of Prey, Nice House the Lake, Batman, and many others. Following her Eisner nominated writing debut, Redlands, she worked on Buffy the Vampire Slayer for Boom and Adventures of Young Diana for DC Comics. Jordie is currently writing the first ever comic series for Princess Guinevere and the Jewel Riders from Mad Cave Studios, while coloring many interesting projects at DC, Image, IDW, and Dark Horse Comics. Jordie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Joan, and for a lovely introduction. I appreciate that very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for submitting your portfolios to me for review. I'm excited. I'm going to start with, I'm just going to jump right in because I know everyone's been waiting. I'm starting with, oh, and I also want to let it known, I can't read the chat because I'm a fuddy-duddy, as proven to Joan and poor Lef earlier. I am not good with technology somehow. So if you're chatting, please know that they will let me know. I want to talk about Ellie's turning over or turn over a new skin. First of all, I just want to say when I opened up all these portfolios earlier this week, I was sneaky and I had a look. I was gasping out loud. There's so much good work here. I'm quite flattered all of you would even want me to even, leave any kind of critique. Because again, I think all of you are just absolutely killing it. So I'm just going to have my thoughts, my opinions. And if you have any questions or any feedback you want to talk more about, or if you want to even talk about your choices, I'm really keen to make this a discussion. I think good work comes from good discourse. So firstly, if Ellie did this cover, exceptional, lovely, love the colors, love everything about it. Ellie did say at the bottom of this file, I believe that they did do all the things. Yeah, look at that. Eliana, amazing. All right, so I'm sorry, I'm cheating. I'm getting ahead. Okay. First of all, beautiful cover. Love it. No comments, no notes. S tier. Love it. Love all these pages as well. I love the coloring in terms of the saturation that you're really approaching with, the bright yellow house, the bright green trees, and you're just like really kind of pumping up this idea of it being safe and I don't want to say sanitary, but it's approachable. And then these dark looming colors really begin to come in on page two. Now, would say when I first looked at all of this, I didn't really have any notes on this story. And now as I looked at it again today ahead of this, and this is I'm sorry, this is going to get very nitpicky in places. And again, if Ellie's here and wants to comment, I really would love to hear their thoughts as well. This this red choice here for me, considering the trunk and the shirt is red, these are just one of these storytelling moments where at the end, and I'm sorry again to get ahead, is that you have these beautiful purples. So I think that there's like a really nice book ending here that's happening. But I kind of wish these beautiful blues of your trees would kind of be introduced here. And that would make this marriage between these greens and these purpley reds sort of I mean, I love it because we're getting in the shoe, we're getting in the top. But for me, I think this is about dancing with the color language, and I want to see maybe her red kind of, what is it, on its own, you know what I mean, being more of an exclusive color. So I'd love to see more of like a bluish color, again, borrowing from this, so it's also a nice gradient from the green. And again, look at these like nice little renderings, shadows and things. You're thinking about all these details, which for me is like half the battle. A lot of people don't know how to make an observant sort of, what is the word I'm looking for, guys? I'm so sorry. It's not it's not observing is very difficult for a lot of people to also channel into the work. So when I see a really great shadow or a really great color or something that again is something that you see in real life and you might not think about it on the page and it's happening on the page, it's very special. So I love all these shadow treatments. I think they're just stunning. They're really nice. And again, I really liked your rendering on this little puppy. Also, a very spooky story. Let's not lie about that. It's a very spooky story. But I love the rendering on this dog. I feel like you're really you're in your wheelhouse when I think you're doing these types of like lighter, subtle treatments in places and these nice nods again for the birds having their little snouts colored. I think it's really special. This nice shadow on the eye. That's something that I literally only just started doing like 3 years ago, realizing that, shadows in the eye are really effective, especially if they're a different temperature. I love it. I think it's lovely. And yeah, then you have this, I'll kind of get to this like point with this hot purple, which again, I love. Sorry. This like nice hot saturated purple, which is lovely. And it's really making these blues and these oranges pop. So across the board on this story and the next, though, I will say, oh, and by the way, I want to say I love this treatment though. I see that you have it bleed from the red into this. And I still think that this background gutter color would look just as nice with the framing of the blue. And if anything, it also pushes the fact that she's in the woods. You're like just pushing that storytelling further and further. But again, I would go with the dark one. On to dark. I do think that these pages are very full of very dark colors. I don't know if this is something that, if it was in print, I don't think it would print as well. I think you would lose a lot of the lines in your trunks. A lot of this would probably, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe you've printed it, but for me, I think there's so much darkness here. I'd really worry about the risk of it printing well. And a lot of that comes down to removing K. I'm not sure if you work in CMYK, but it's important to keep your sliders up and make sure you're not using too much K. And if you're using RGB, that's totally cool, but a lot of things will be compressed and like sent off to printers anyway and put into CMYK. So it's just something to be mindful about. Sometimes you can just use curves, which is Command M, and have a look and go to black. And if you see just like your points on the map are all up in K town, it's not great. We just want it to print really well. So that's my thought about that in terms of the actual process. And if you have any other questions about that, or if you even want to send these files to me privately on the Dropbox for the Nib and Ink portfolio review, I'm really happy to open them up also and let you know. But if it's like a web comic, or if you're not worried about it going to press, like run wild. I love K. I think it looks great, like in TV and film. It's just unfortunate that our printers are not stable enough for that. And again, I love this, the coloring, the rendering. I don't know if everyone can see my cursor, but it's just great. This bottom panel, I really, really love it. I think it's really nice. And I love that you've done it all. So this stuff, love again, this rendering, this like, it actually makes me think of Matt Hollingsworth, like on some things, and you do this, look at this thumb. I was looking at these hands. Oh, look at that shadow. I love that. I've got no complaints. The rendering, perfect, gorgeous. Love it. Love this hair. I think it's really, really nice. Again, though, I do see that we're heading into some kind of deeper colors. I feel like there is black in these colors, which is funny, these hot colors. I'm not sure if you're using saturation, like the, what is it, Command H, right? That's something that people will sometimes use for quick color balances or to pick their colors. But it can really actually just be using white and black. So it's important to make sure you're not throwing too much of this color in there because it will just make your work print really dark. I think in some places it's effective, like on this face here, it's perfect. I love it. Oh, but see these trousers, you won't see these lines in print. It'll just, yeah, it'll go so dark. And this as well, and also sometimes obviously because we're working in print with pages, this dark shadow may in fact print on the back of this page. And we don't want that. We want everything to be hunky dory. So again, I would suggest, oh my gosh, I'm so sensitive, this mouse. I would honestly suggest pulling back on the K and a nitpick, which I didn't have earlier. on this story when I was looking. I'm not a fan of hard selections. Maybe that's just a me problem. I notice it all the time that sometimes I'll try my best to paint it out, just so it's like a subtle grad. But that's such like that's just a Jordie Bellaire dummy thing. Look at this rendering again though on the hair. I love it so much. I love the way you're approaching his hair. It's so dope. I thought this was really nice. The way you kind of like, I don't know, is that like a blur as well as pushing it back, maybe opacity wise? I just think that's a really nice little effect. And again, this panel, love it, love the color. But again, I worry that it's going to be a little dark. That's my personal preference. I would try to make sure you're mixing these colors without using too much black or checking on your ink density. But I do love that these eyes pop. They look great. So again, love it. And if you have any questions or comments you want to make as well, if you're present, I'd love to know and hear. And then yeah, again, love. I liked that this ends with this as well. I'd really like, what is it? Pixel art. Yeah, love this. Katie Paris. Sick. Love this. You don't see this a lot in comics. I love that. Great shadowing, great couch. Look at this couch detail. All right, these are my dogs getting upset about something. Can't always account for that. And again, just lovely. The trial of Rizzo. I love the splatters, love the rendering, these arms again. A lot of these little details people don't always think about. And I think these things are really strong when you see them. Oh, and this couch pattern being repeated. I hate doing couch patterns. So I'm really happy to see it not only there, but again, there. So yeah, great portfolio. Would love to hear more about some of these dark choices, like if this is something that they really love, or if it's something that they didn't realize. But again, just such great rendering, such great choices, really interesting effects happening. Um, so yeah, I'm psyched. I love it. This rendering on this dog is still one of my favorite little highlights. Love it. So chase this more, I would say. So I'm going to go on to the next portfolio, if that's cool, unless this person wanted to have any other chats. But Ellie, amazing. Love. How do I escape? Hold on, here we are. Sorry, everybody. You can't always be doing a good at technology when you're Jordie Bellaire. I want a big green, big screen. Here we are. Beautiful. I don't seem to have the name of this one on hand. Allison. Oh no. Oh, it's happening. I'm so sorry. Allison. This one, I like, okay. I already have so many thoughts because again, I've already looked through it. Great rendering. I'm a little jealous, a little annoyed because it's really nice. If you have any comments or anything you want to discuss as well while I'm in the pages, I'd love to hear about them. Uh, I okay, I'm already skipping ahead to my favorite stuff. But this again, the rendering on these arms, I love this rendering. I love the way you're pushing around the paint. It literally feels like you're pushing the paint around, which is I just think it's not common a lot. I think more and more comics are doing it now, which is great. A lot more people are becoming a little more fearless with their approach rather than trying to remain formulaic to, whatever the big two have said was cool. Um, I like to see a certain richness, and these pages. What are you like? These are amazing. And when you really get in, I'm getting closer to my desktop. I would suggest other people do too, just all these little color splashes and all these little special like this mixing in the face and then these lovely strokes here. I'm really close to the monitor. And then this is just oh I'm I love it. I'm sorry that that's not a great critique besides I love it. I don't have any notes. I think it's incredible. And I loved this panel as well. Again, the way that you're able, and I would be so curious just from like a peer point of view. I would love to know what the inks look like because I think you've harnessed them in such an excellent way of working with them. This is one of these beautiful moments where you can't tell where the art stops, the colors begin, and that's where I want to live always. So yeah, stunning. Sorry, Joan, should I stop talking?
Oh no, I was just going to mention that Allison is in chat, so I'm keeping an eye on
Perfect.
info there. I've gotten back. with three A's, and thank you
Yay!
so far.
Oh, Allison, it's very good. I was like, my jaw was on the floor when I was opening these. And again, love, love. Look at this fire. Look at this treatment. Look at this nice little red. These are again those observations I'm talking about that people may make in life, but then to actually what's the word? Put them into the page. I think it's really special. Now, I will say I have critiques on this second page or this on the one on the right. Mostly that bone being, and again, this is a storytelling point of view though, so I can see it both ways. The skeleton on the right being almost bone white, that's totally cool. But it feels like it's a little flat in comparison to everything you've done. You've really built up a lot of texture. And bone white, obviously, like in a room like this, in this scenario, may not actually be so white. So I'd love to see it actually more grayed, more burned, given I know that a white skull and white skeleton is so iconic. And I also really thought that maybe this exit door in this bright white, if you felt about how you felt about maybe doing like a soft glow or something that's kind of like seeping around the edges. But I did like the idea, obviously, of the exit being white and the bone white death exit. I mean, these things track. I like that color storytelling. But for me, I think I would like to see something in those bone whites rather than just having them pure white, whether or not that's a glow, a soft glow that's coming around the rims, or again, just like a slight dirtying up of the color, like this light blue you have here. Even sometimes you'd be surprised, though I don't actually think you would be that surprised because you're a great painter. You see how these colors like really manifest in different tones. I'd love to see these blues kind of brought up into these white areas. And then this red, for me, I don't, again, it's just because the rendering is so strong on a lot of this, or the color use within the rendering too is so nice. I'd love to see, oh, very sensitive mouse here. I'd love to see these reds kind of, again, painted in. And something that I'm really interested in right now, personally, as an artist, is the way that like tile will react with reflection or with liquid. So when you think about blood as well going into these cracks, I'm not telling you you got to go overboard and render a lot, but I would just love to see that red really feel like it's a part of the environment, that it's laid there, that it's disgusting. It's a lot. But again, the rendering on the coat, the rendering on the hat, I think you're very well considered as a colorist on these pages, and I think they're just stunning. I love it. This one too. Oh yeah, I loved all this like chunky rendering, and then this is some. I think rendering is definitely your wheelhouse. I know it's just a shame because a lot of times publishers will not afford you the time to render. I say that from total experience. There's something that I'll start on an issue one, and you have maybe 6 weeks to get this issue off the ground. And then every issue in that next mini is like, you have 2.5 weeks if you're lucky, to get it flatted, get it prepped, hope your artist runs in. So, like, you can't always even maintain the style or the level of rendering you want. But if this is something that you're interested in, I would just keep going, man. Like just ride it. I think you're very good at it. And this page, oh, I really liked even this short story. I know it's just a little short story, but I thought it was so like okay, I'm trying to think about a way that because when I first heard it, I couldn't tell if I should be offended, but somebody once told me I was really good with mundane and mediocre palettes. And I was like, what the heck does that mean? But when I saw the second panel, I feel like I'm walking by the ice and vending room area. Like you've really, again, these observations from life, you've really channeled what that is for people when you see that in your peripheral. So again, I think all the mundane colors in here are not, they're not boring, but they feel believable. And that's a great, great aspect of a colorist to make things feel believable. I really liked your soft approach to rendering as well in these areas on the faces. I think it's great. No real K use either, I think I'm seeing. So my one critique though that I did also have on these is I noticed that you kind of have this gradation shift from these reds in your tones to these greens. This is it's maybe very personal. It's like an objective thing for me, more or what's the word? Is that the word? Objective? Subjective. That's the word. Yes. I just feel like I would rather see it all one tone rather than kind of like this blend. And that maybe is also coming from me as a technical person because it feels like, and I don't mean any insult, but it kind of feels like maybe an airbrush tool was used on the top, and maybe let's say on overlay or multiply set to like a red or a pink to kind of bring that alertness, that flushness into their face, their angry little faces. But it didn't go all the way down in the rest of the rendering. So for me, I think I'd like to see one or the other, or a little more, what's the word? Like a certainty, like finite use of it in one area rather than it kind of, because yeah, I don't love that that changes right there on hers. Looks okay on him. Looks, but again, these colors kind of being different. And again, love the rendering. You've really got a nice little way of, I was gonna say nice little eye, but I don't know how big your eyes are. Maybe you have great big eyes, maybe you have small eyes. It doesn't make a difference. But you've got a great eye for rendering, and I'm happy for you. And I'm jealous. I love these ice cubes as well, and these moments where you see color coming through. That's again a very special observation. A lot of people will note that, but they might just not want to execute that. So I literally giggled when I saw it earlier. I was like, "Ooh, she ran it right through." So I love that. And again, you just have lovely, lovely rendering choices. So yeah, I loved it. Loved it. And I think that's all of Allison. So if Allison has any thoughts or comments, or they want to have any questions answered, I'm happy to take those now, or if they want to like leave it there. But I was just very impressed with this portfolio. A plus. Please keep chasing your rendering, keep chasing your excellent observation. Oh, and one last thing, actually. Great. I just realized how great the uh, versatility is in this. This is a very wholesome portfolio, and that you've shown that you can do, you know, like pretty approachable, I would say dare, like, YA stuff to like this bloody heck, like Simon Spurrier level story, like with, gore and fire and the gloominess. So yeah. Oh, one last nitpick. Let's get this border white. Yeah. For a while, I worked with Mike Hawthorne, and he leaves everything like this, borders open. And it would drive me crazy because I felt like it left a responsibility on me to make them different colors. And then one day I was like, what am I doing? I'm just going to leave them white. That's not boring. Maybe it's okay. And I think maybe I'm a sucker, but sometimes I like just a white border, especially in an all dark room. I think a white border here would be good. I think it'd be popping. All right. I think that's it for me here. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm not just roasting you all. I don't have a lot to roast. I think everything looks really good.
Comments from Allison, it looks like in response to the first batch, oh, that makes sense.
Cool.
In response to the second batch, mundane is so hard, followed by lol. Uh, and finally, it's a yeah, just thank you. In
Oh, anytime, Allison. I'm happy to review any of y'all's work as well. If y'all ever want to email me or keep me posted or ever ask for a critique, sometimes my time is like, I'm not always the best at responding. It might take me a week or more, but sometimes just feel free to ping me. And I would love to watch all of you all like just continue. I'm pumped to see you all out there. Then AHG, again, another one. I gasped out loud. Sorry, I'm trying to embiggen. There she goes. I absolutely gasped out loud. I love the texture. Just to start, I love the juice. I'm a big fan of 1970s illustrators and this golden era. And I just again talk about pushing paint along on the page. This is Oh, I see. Ahmed's hand has been raised. Hello. Um, does Joe? Do you want to see if? Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
Oh yeah, that's me.
Hi, Ahmed. Just wanted if you're cool to be on
Well,
audio. I just loved your portfolio.
yeah, that's
Stunning,
fine.
stunning.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Is there anything that you want to start by saying to me or anything, or is it cool if I just like
No,
go
no,
through?
no. Just go through. Go ahead. I'm just listening and learning.
Oh, well, listen, I don't know what else you need to learn from me, my friend. These are, again, your color language is through the roof. I love how expressive it all is. Like, this is, again, this fearless thing that I think, like, a few years back in comics, Marvel would not have wanted this, or DC would have been whatever about it. But this is like, I think this is where the real meat and juice is of a lot of books right now, is about finding the expressionism, not just this linear model. I love
Agreed.
it. I love that you agree. I can see it in the work. Sorry, my head is falling. I love the use of red. I love all these beautiful spotted textures, the mixture of the colors in the paint. Are you a painter by any chance in real life?
Sort of, kind of.
That tracks. That really tracks. Because I love these choices that you're making. Yeah. I'm really in love with it. I would love to see you coloring
Thank you.
books right now. If I had one critique, it would be I think this
Mm,
area for me is just sometimes the brush only here, which is interesting because again, I love the motion. It just feels
mm,
like it's kind of samey, that one brush maybe, and a little tight for the arm, maybe in some
mm.
places, taking that stroke all the way up. Again, that's such a subjective thought though on it. Like if you're happy, I love that for you.
Yeah, no,
Because
no,
again, these are
I think you
great.
have a point there.
But
Yeah, I
it's
think
such
you have a
a it
point
would
there
literally
because it could have been more. Mhm.
just literally that area. And that's such a small, like a bit of feedback. I just maybe would try it differently. But if you try it and you still
Yeah.
don't, you like your other way, keep it that way. And the hand as
Yeah.
well here.
Uh,
It, I
yeah.
just, I love it. I just wish that we were still getting, because you're so great with this color balance, how would you feel about some of the backhands, like as they're moving through, maybe we have more blue in them, maybe a little more of the spectrum color, maybe that
Yeah.
background colors. So
Yeah.
you have one hand that's a little more focused, but the others,
Yeah.
and maybe
That's
even playing with color holds.
yeah. I was thinking right now, looking at it again. I've done
Yeah.
this, I
Yep.
think, a year and a half ago, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, I think,
Really?
yeah, I
Holy
think, yeah, this
cow.
could have been. I think this could a little bit of color hold and some maybe, like you said, some blue or even some of the white from the background going in
Yes,
would have
exactly.
made
And I
it
mean
a
that,
bit more clear,
yeah, not even just about clarity. I think actually what I want in it is less clarity because I want to see that it's like a scatter, like it's a visual
more
scatter effect.
motion.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe more motion because these
Yeah.
peach colors are really, these flesh
Mm,
tones are really grounding us. And so we're noticing that it's a
yeah,
hand, but I'm
that's
not
right.
really getting the feeling of, are you a fan of The Simpsons? I think about Lisa Simpson going, I can see the music. And that's, I feel like I want to be able to see the, like, I love this hot aqua color and this hot pink, just in this beautiful Payne's
Yeah,
gray. I don't know if you can see my cursor. So having these like
barely.
bounce
Um,
behind the main hand would be, I think, just
mhm.
incredible. But that's my only note there. Again, more compliments. Love this loose structure of rendering, the
Mhm.
way you've just
Thank
like
you.
fitted this down, the hair, love it. Absolutely love it. Maybe play with a
Mhm.
little, again, less samey sometimes, but overall, love it. Absolutely love it. And then
Thank
onto
you very
this.
much.
I really loved this. Again,
Right
nice
or left?
left. I'm so
Left, yeah.
sorry. I'm gonna say I'm gonna call it approachable coloring. I hope that that's not like I think we all agree on what's approachable, right? Like,
Yeah, no,
kind of like yeah, for the
yeah,
masses, right? So I love it. I think again,
yeah.
your color
It's
choices, your contrast.
this is the hardest stuff for me.
Oh, really? Well, I would tell you then.
Yeah,
I mean,
approachable and morning scenes.
oh, morning, you look, this is really good though. You've really got a good balance of these blues. Look at these beautiful
Thank
purples
you.
you're bringing in. It's stunning. I mean, it's a shame to hear that this is maybe what, yeah, I mean, but honestly, it's not a shame. If this isn't what you're interested in doing, I would just be mindful that you shouldn't do it. Like, don't, if this isn't what makes your heart happy, like, I understand that we all have to take gigs for, I hate to use the word exposure, but,
Yeah,
sometimes you want to take the gig that's going
yeah.
to get you in front of somebody or you want that cash or you just want the experience, right? But if you find
Oh
more and
yeah.
more this is less your wheelhouse, don't feel like you have to fit into it. Or you could just play with the
Uh,
idea of bringing more of this into that. You know what I mean?
oh yeah. Yeah, this was a boom comic, and
Mm,
it was mostly like a war story, but then set after after World War II.
hmm.
And it overall I really like it, but there were some morning scenes, some nicer scenes. So it was a nice balance because I want to be like fully rounded. I don't want to have a problem where I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I can't color morning scenes.
Well,
Yeah,
definitely
I
never
was
say
kind of
you can't.
stealing
You're a
from your,
great colorist.
I think, The Rocketeer. Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
thank
Yeah, that's
you.
like my first year's work, honestly, first year or
Yeah,
two into the industry. So like I was definitely
yeah. I
experimenting a
was
lot.
stealing a little bit.
I don't see any theft. Don't we worry about it. I think it all just looks great. I thought that this was just like a really nice what
Thank
is
you.
it? Vibrancy of colors. I guess if I could make small critiques though, I am just noticing the more you look at it, sometimes you can find, and again, these are
Uh,
such nitpicky
please.
details. This little
Mhm.
bit between your
I
young
love
boy's legs,
nitpicks.
1, 2, 3. Yeah,
Mm.
needs a little blue. It looks like you paint on the page though. Again, are you a painter, did you say? You said kind
I
of, sort of?
I kind of sort of, yeah. I do. used to do a little bit of painting, but I mostly work without flats. I just paint on the page.
Exactly. And I love that. So I would just make
Yeah.
sure you're getting in some of those details, but I love not working with flats. It's something that I'm leaning into
Okay.
more and more, because you get a really good feel for the page. It does make it harder though, obviously, if somebody's like,
Yeah.
this boy needs to be pushed further back, like that can be frustrating. So definitely
Yeah.
be mindful
Yeah.
about that. I would only feel bad for you in those instances. But yeah, I love that you're just flying on the page. I think it
Thank
looks
you.
cool. And yeah, I liked
Thank you.
that the variety of skin tones too. And this, it's a bother sometimes in American industry comics. People are very much one note when it comes to non-white skin, and so I really enjoy that you're
Yeah.
experimenting with using different colors, hot tones, cool tones, because it's a world we live in. There's all different types of people in it, and
Yep.
it's not just one note. So I also congratulate you on that because that is a really
Thank you.
great thing to see so early on. So onto these pages
Thank you.
though, or yeah, this is your work
These are
completely, right?
all, yeah, yep,
I
drawn and colored. The rest of the three are written by Torrance Chenault and lettered by Alison, who you just reviewed the portfolio of.
Oh, sick, really? Oh my gosh, y'all are such a good group. This page on the right
Yeah,
it's exceptional. I love it. I want to read this book. Like
thank
where
you.
why like I want to read this book right
I'm
now.
working on it.
It's sensational. I love it. I love just I don't know. It's I don't know how to describe it without it's just a very sexy, arty, cinematic look. And just this first panel, the
Thank you.
softness of it all and the focus. Like I can't wait to see you chasing more of what you clearly enjoy, which is maybe just personal work. And I think it looks great. Like
Yeah, it
please
is.
keep on. Oh, then keep going. We deserve it. Kind of. We don't deserve it. But if you
Too
if
kind.
you feel like sharing, please keep going. Yeah, I have
Thank you.
if I had to have a critique, obviously I would say it's
Please
just
do. It's
watch
too
out for the
dark.
case. Yeah, just but it's
It's
it's a
way
tricky
too
thing
dark.
though. But on that's hard, isn't it, though? Because if you print
Yeah.
this, it will run dark. However, that could
Hmm.
be part of the thing. You might want that noir look, you know what I mean? And if you ever did publish
Yeah.
this book, it's possible that you'd want it printed on a different stock. It might not, like if you printed this at Marvel tomorrow and you were doing this full style on a Marvel book, I'd love to read it. I think it'd be beautiful. But you would run the risk of having some dark pages. However, if you're out of
Yeah,
Marvel
it
and you're
would be
going
so
to
dark.
some Right. But if you're going to like Dark
Mhm.
Horse or Image or anywhere else that's going to help you publish this, you can really work with people on trying to make sure you're using the best stock because there are plenty of artists out there that do go really dark when they're using their own personal work. But because it's kind of prescribed more as like a painting rather than the line art that you're
Mm.
trapping and yada yada, you kind of get away with a different kind of set of standards, if that makes sense, like a different
So
production. Do
I
you know what I mean?
this could work. So this
Yeah, it
could
could
work
work. It could work.
possibly.
You'd still run risk. You'd still run risk,
Yeah,
but
of
it
course.
would, I think. Yeah, I mean, that's always the risk though, right? There's like I did Phantom Road first issue. There was like this page
Hmm.
where there's like all this red and I actually got onto Image because it came out orange and I had to get on like, hey, did I mess something up? And they were like, no, that's just the printer. Like, sorry, not our issues look okay. And
Yeah,
so, printing is always just whatever, but it's that you want to pass it
yeah.
off
It's
knowing that
you can't
you're doing
control.
your best. Exactly.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
as long as you're mindful that it probably will print dark and that it's only printing dark in the places you want it to print dark. So this foreground character printing
Mostly,
dark,
yeah.
exactly. I don't see any
Yeah,
of that on her face. Like you're definitely, you know what I mean? So I think it will
yeah, yeah.
maintain the contrast every time. God, I love this art.
Thank
I
you.
want to see more. It's so sick.
Thank you. That
Very
means a lot.
evocative. Oh, I love it. Again, I was gasping out loud when, and I don't want to be that person on it, but I definitely went to your Instagram and saw that this is a work you're doing, and I'm very excited. I want to see more. Thank you. You
Thank
can
you.
keep me
Thank
posted.
you.
And
Will do.
love
Will
all,
do.
please. And yes, I loved all this rendering. Look at these birds and this like sick texture. You're a big fan of these like this brushy texture. Again, great BIPOC skin tones. Thank
Mm.
you for just understanding that people are beautiful and come in all varieties rather than being one note. It looks so nice. And again, the eyes are beautiful. But yeah, sorry to go back. I noticed this one up, boop, this little
Mhm.
shine on the shoe on the top right. Love that.
Mhm.
But
Thank you.
yeah, again, my only note here would be maybe
Mhm.
I think sometimes it feels a little bit I don't want to say washed out, but we do lose some contrast here and there. But
Yeah,
again, contrast isn't
especially in those
always,
three panels.
yeah, but
First three.
sometimes
Yeah.
contrast isn't everything, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
contrast, I think, can take a back seat for story and emotional color use. So I think
Yeah, but because I think that first three panels are all supposed to
Mhm.
be different scenes, but they do kind of feel samey in like the values, or like the value composition is
Hmm.
really samey. So it doesn't feel
Yeah.
like we're going through different places, like it's colored differently, but the values are all kind of just grayish and samey and just so it kind
Can
of
I tell
I
you,
think kind of takes away from it maybe.
if I had an easy fix to that personally, because I think we've all kind of been here where you get through a page and then you look at it and you're like, oh wait, oh no, that's not
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's not a great habit, so don't do it all the time. But I think just grabbing
Mhm.
that middle panel, I think I would use the middle panel and the left panel and maybe the third at the end. But that
Mhm.
middle panel, I would immediately grab it, select the whole thing, colors and all. And if you can't get your
Mhm.
special effects, if you have it on another layer, but I would just do a quick Command L and just bump up the levels slightly. Like I'm talking like
Yeah.
5 or 7, because you just want a little bit of contrast. Because I don't think you have to mix any new colors. I just think we want to lift it a little bit. And that also for print will make sure it
Yeah.
doesn't flatten out. And then I would chase that up with
Yep.
doing it on the left panel again, the slightest level adjustment. Command L, warp, warp, warp a little bit from the right side, come to the middle, never drag the left over because the left is your black and you don't want black in these pages. And then that one on the right,
Yeah.
I think that one on the right could again use just a tweak of leveling. But again, I'm talking about apples and oranges here in terms of the contrast. We're just trying to push it slightly. I don't think it needs an
Yeah,
overhaul.
just a
I don't
touch.
think just a touch, just a touch. Because again, the colors, I hear that you're saying that you think they look samey, but for me, I kind of disagree. I think that some of the tones are quite
Mm-hmm.
muted, but again, that feels like it's a choice, like, and I like that this is a muted looking book in that sense,
Mm,
because then you have these hot colors, and while things are still muted, it's like an anime, like it's like muted but things are
yeah.
quite colorful and glowy without again even using a glow. Like how do you do it, like it's good color choice. So I think keeping things to that muted neutral state is really not a bother, just an oomph of contrast by a
Gotcha.
quick level, and I think you'd be happy out for that.
Mm,
I do
okay.
think, again, smaller
Mm,
critique on this guy. I guess it's
is-
important that the wheel is dark, but I guess for me, the wheel is almost like the darkest thing in this panel, and I'm going right to it.
yeah, it
And
kind of jumps out.
yeah, it kind of jumps out. I would maybe just again tone that back. These are just small little like
Yeah.
adjustments. I love this too, this little panel of your man there of the little photo. Again, these
Mm,
birds, stick, stunning, love, great contrast, great painting in this.
huge,
Great.
huge thank you to Allison who helped me
Oh,
with the birds.
oh, who helped you with colors, did you say?
The bird expert. No,
Oh,
Allison helped me with the birds
oh, that's
and helped me
sick.
get this thing done.
Oh, well, that's good friends. I love that. Y'all are making a good crew. And then again, love all these. Just and the way that you're flashing back through the story as well with these great color use. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it. I did find that this was choice was interesting with the sun. I sort of wish that the sun was not more, it's a little oblong for me. And that's just, again, this is just a
Mm,
personal. I maybe wish that it was a little lower or a little higher, or maybe
yeah.
it feels like we're trying to keep it away from the panel border, but this is again not something to change
Yeah.
necessarily. It's not something to change in this, something just to keep in mind for future.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
we are getting a little tangent too, actually. I just noticed with his dome and the bottom of the sun. But
Yeah.
again, these are
I
such
think I
small
was trying
notes.
to avoid the tangents up, so I
Yeah,
made a tangent down.
tangents, they'll get you, man. They'll get you every time. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's
Yeah.
not, this is not like, it's not a page weakener or anything. If anything, I think it's because the work
Hmm.
is so strong that for me, I'm just having to
Yeah.
nitpick. You know what I mean?
So,
But again, and I love this page too. It feels like you all are really capturing a an animated feature film, which I really enjoy. And I think
yeah.
that's stunning. These birds again, perfect. These sky
Yeah.
renderings, perfect. Love the skin tones, love the choices. I feel like this ear maybe is a little brightly lit.
Yeah,
That's
a
just
little
again
bit.
small note though.
Mm,
Again, that's just me being picky. And again, no real qualms. I love the painterly look again of all of this just in the way it's
Thank you.
done on the page. Um,
Mhm.
think I'm not a water scientist, but I feel I
Yeah,
wonder if
that's
that is the sploosh like a little big maybe still? I mean, but that's again such a nitpick. Maybe like some of these rings, we could use a little bit of a different variety of brush, or maybe not even render as many
mm,
rings. I think about like
yeah,
Ghibli films, and they're so special in that you'll notice like, and it's something that I'm trying to obsessively look at as well in bodies of water, is that you'll see that a lot of things are really quite one note, and then there's just like a
mm,
few sparkles. There's just like a few lines, and it just
yeah,
pops everything and it looks like water. So I feel like
mhm,
maybe, and that's such a nitpick, but I love these beautiful lines that
mm,
you have. And I think some of these thicker, chunkier brushes are maybe kind of
yeah,
pulling away from the lightness of the roof. But
mhm,
that's just me. And maybe again, some high points on this one. Nothing crazy. Like I would again, one or two and a little sploosh, like a little
yeah,
highlighty note. But yeah. And if you wanted to as well, that sun color in the background, I love that you have it here, but maybe it's just on the horizon or I mean, but that's again
yeah,
a
maybe. Yeah.
subjective choice. What you feel is right for your story, you know?
Thank you.
But yeah, happy retirement, big bro. I love it. It's really good. It's really, really good. Yeah, big love for you, Ahmed. I'm really excited to see you
Thank you.
develop this sexy cowboy beboppy good time book. I want this in
Thank
my
you.
hands
It's a
immediately.
it's a huge inspiration.
Oh, oh, I
It made
can't
me
wait.
draw.
Oh, that's amazing. Well, please share with us in the world and me, mostly me.
Will
I want to
do.
see it.
Thank you so much.
You've got
Thank
a
you so much.
fan
It
now for
means a lot.
sure. Oh no,
Thank
thank
you.
you again for sharing and for
I've
and
been
again I
been a huge fan for a long time.
oh well I was telling this as well. I was telling everybody in the portfolio sub thing, like whatever you
Mhm.
submit to me what you are most passionate about. And so seeing
Yeah,
this
that's what I
and
read. So I was like,
yeah,
just put
heck
it.
yeah. And I would encourage everybody to stick with what you love. Matt Wilson once told me that many moons ago. He said something about, gosh, really, hold on, this is like maybe 15 years ago. He told me, so I have to open up the old cobweb box in my brain. He said something like, oh, because I had gotten I'm not embarrassed to say it now. I had sent a test to Marvel. Marvel turned back and told me all the things they didn't like about it and what I should do. And I was really, really quite hurt. And I mean, obviously, we're all young hurt artists. And so I came to Matt
Yeah.
Wilson, like, Matt, what do I do? Because Matt had also told me the sample looked great, and like just chase it and get
Mhm.
there, girl. And I was like, what do I do? Should I just do that? And it feels like just because I didn't make the body all shiny and like really pointed out the cleavage and like in trouble or like and Matt just said, look, people will come to you when you develop what you like to do. So just stick with what you like and don't try to flex for other people to fit into whatever they subscribe as being what they like a comic. And that's why I love
Mhm.
seeing these new refreshing takes that so far all the portfolios have shown there's not really some sort of like right answer to comics. It's what you like. It's what makes you excited to sit in front of the computer for hours on end and do it. So yeah,
Mhm.
chase this. Chase it, wrangle it, make it yours
Will
and
do.
build it, they will come. So
Thank
yeah,
you. Thank you so much,
yes.
Jordie.
And that's for everybody too,
Um,
not just Ahmed. But yeah.
if yeah, just one question. Where do you think I can push my colors more, or like where do I go from here? What do I study more? Something like that, or even
Mm.
drawing.
Well, again, I would just chase what I'm sorry that that's not maybe what you wanted on it. I really feel like you're already on your path. Like truly, I would just say continue to make more time. I
Thank you.
want more pages of this. I really don't have any like except for my like tiny feedback. Like you already appear to be a professional colorist to me. I would just continue to push forward and do what you want and maintain professionalism when you do your projects. And too, when I first started kind of getting more weird, I guess you could say, like my Birds of Prey book, I remember submitting the pages to
Mhm.
editorial and saying, this is how I want to color this. Is this okay? Like it's important to sometimes field rather than like saving everything for the Tuesday before the book's due to print, like, hey everyone, this is how I colored this book. It's crazy. Good
Mhm.
luck. Like because then that's just confusing for the editorial, because sometimes you do have to make it approachable, right? But for
Mhm.
me, I think if this is how you want to do books, if this is what you want, and not so much this image on the left, that's totally cool. If you sent this stuff to the editors, like on the right, like, and also again, this page, and obviously this work, and then this work, just tell people in advance, this is what I want to do. I'm going to do
Yeah.
this, make it slap, like share it with the artist, make sure the artist has no specific feedback, like, oh, I don't think my work's strong enough actually for this, or, oh, actually, I think like I really want to see this more rendered. Is there a way we can work together on that?
Yeah.
And that's all I would say you do. Just keep pushing. I think you're doing great. I'm really sorry that's not
Thank you.
more specific. Again, Matt Wilson once told me it's the hours you put in the chair. So just keep making
Yeah.
time and sit and go, because yeah, how long have you been coloring, if you don't mind me asking? Like comics.
2018, I think.
Yeah,
2018. But
yeah.
yeah, the end of 2018 is when I got a job, I think.
Oh, sick. Yeah, you're killing it. Just keep going. Just
Thank you.
keep going. Just keep going.
Okay.
And if like
Mhm.
maybe what I would suggest, and I guess this time is so different now though than what it was when I started. Like I used to really enjoy when I had the time and the energy to color different people's work just like for fun. Like, if people would upload a black
Yeah.
and white image back on Twitter, I'd pull it down and color it that day, submit it. It was kind of like what is it, a challenge as well to try different styles. So
Yeah.
that's all I could also say is like if there's art you want to be coloring that's not your own, reach out to those people, say,
Yeah.
hey, I'm just like experimenting, I don't even need to post this, but I'd love to share it with you after. Like, um and again, you should just don't set your limits low. Like if you want to color, like I can't think, like I'm just going to say Fernando because I'm working with him this past week, Fernando
Mm.
Blanco. If you want to color Fernando Blanco, ask Fernando for pages, and Fernando might say no, but Fernando might go, oh yeah, sure, here's like 10 world tree pages, have that. And then if you submitted world tree pages that
Yeah.
looked like this or that, I might be out of the job, which would suck, but it would be really great for you
No,
to
no.
continue to push
No way.
this, no, mate, to push this beautiful storytelling that you have, That's all I want to see is more. Yeah,
Thank you.
that's the best I can offer you. More, please. More.
Thank you. Thank
Yep,
you.
no worries. Thanks for participating and also like
Thank you so much.
asking me for direct feedback. And again, my email is open to everybody on the call today that has also submitted
Yeah.
work. Like, I'm really keen to keep up with all of your work. And if you all ever have questions about process or even like how to manage, like what is it, editorial
Okay.
feedback or professional stuff in general, it can be a pretty scary world out there. And I know that we're all connected now on Discords, and there's a nice like-minded group, especially with, the Cartoonist co-op. But like, I just want to make sure that you guys know that you all have me as a resource always, because I am here.
Thank you so much.
Of course, my dear. Well, I'm gonna move on to Carlos if that's cool, Ahmed. Is that cool? Oh, you've been muted. You've been muted, bro. Let me have a look at this. I'm gonna escape. And we're on to Carlos. Now, Carlos, yours is the only portfolio I have not looked at in advance because you snuck in here, like. And if Carlos is in the chat, and they want to discuss the pages, ooh, I already like what I see. I'm already excited. All right, here we go. Beautiful. Love the rendering. Nice, loud, saturated choices. This is really giving me Nick Filardi as well with these nice hot oranges and these cool purples. We love a temperature friend. Ooh, there's like oh, sorry, that's that happening, but that, ooh, I can't see the thumb on this one, but look at this hand in that cigar. That's very nice up there. Really enjoy a lot of these hot tones coming together. Oh, I hope Carlos is here. I really enjoy this. We were just having this discussion with Ahmed about approachability and coloring, and this feels like it's like bloody Superman 78. This feels like you could work with Joe Quinones as well. Like this all is just really giving me like good comic energy without being, I don't know, like boring. I don't want boring. I want hot. I want feels. I want rendering. I want choices. Oh, look at them. Oh, wow. Sorry. Oh, yes. I love all these glows and these shines. I'm not a fan of rendering metal, but you're making it look really easy and fun, which I love for you. Crowd scenes are the worst. Fair play for you, not just pushing everybody back with a cool tone the way I would. And these rendering choices are really nice. Look at this figure in the dress. Excellent. This figure on the neck. Excellent. figure on the hair. Oh my gosh, you even have the little sideburn. These are, oh, and these are beautiful tones as well. This is something that I think I was trying to lean into, and I was recently just doing Adventures of Super Boy, Super Lad. Can't remember the name of the book. Adventures. It was a Superboy, and it was a really great book. And I really was trying to chase this, like, I don't know, this juicy animated style rendering again for comics. Ooh, one nitpick. I wish that tongue was a bit darker or more purple. It kind of feels like it's flesh tone right now. Again, such a nitpick. And here's another nitpick, actually. Hairlines, hard edges. I'm just not a fan. I know that it's weird sometimes, and I don't think I always do it right. It's somebody I'm obsessed with who's really good at it is Doc Shaner. Doc, if you want to look up Doc, Doc does a really great treatment with hairlines, especially because he's drawing his own work. He'll kind of put a blend between this darkest peach color and this hair color, and he'll kind of like paint it out a bit. And then I think he'll do like another layer if need be. Hairlines are just weird, but I would prefer see that hairline treated rather than sort of just ended. And same for this harsh line. I wish it was painted out a little. I love that you have the shadow here. That just I don't know. Sometimes that stuff can be distracting. And again, small story note, the cigar changes color. People don't love that. I get editorial thoughts about these types of things. So I'm just calling that out for you. And again, love these nice, juicy, warm colors. Nice little beard rendering. Here, I wish it came over to the left more. And also this figure. Overall, actually, I'm just going to stop there because overall, there's like a lot of really great modeling happening. And then there are places where the modeling is not quite on point with the other parts of it. And that's honestly just learning modeling. To bring up Matt Wilson, I used to be, well, not used to be, I am still incredibly jealous of Matthew Wilson's talents. But I used to be so upset that he was so good at modeling. And I would just be like, why? What am I doing wrong? Like, what are you doing? And he'd just be like, I don't know, I'm just modeling, dog, just looking at the way the light affects something. And I still think about it now. If I'm out somewhere and if I see a person with a cowboy hat, I'm that creep who's really staring at them, trying to figure out what is going on with the shadows. So I love this little dark area, but it looks like the artist has also done a gray, sort of speckled tone in the flesh, which I think would imply, they expected this shadow to maybe fall more across her face and down the bridge of her nose slightly. And again, with this beard, the way that the modeling of the light is coming down because it's lit his cheek, I wish we were getting more there. These are, again, really, really nitpicky things. And again, that hairline. I feel like I hate a hard hairline. I hate it. But I think that the more you choose to model, the more you'll improve with modeling. That's exactly, again, like this. This is what I was dreaming of doing on my Superboy, Super Lad book. I can't remember the name of right now. Adventures of Superman. So because I wanted to challenge myself to become better at modeling. So I forced myself for 6 or 5 issues, however many it was. And it was sometimes really hellish and hard on my self-esteem, but I made it through. And again, there are plenty of moments where you're really shining and you're, oh, I just noticed these nice little pop, these highlights on the man's suit on the left. Love that. There's really good things happening. And every now and again, for me, it feels like there's a bit, and I say this with peace and love, a bit of a fumble, but I don't think that's a problem because that's how we learn. You see it in print later and then you color something exactly like this in a month. And then you realize, oh man, like, what, like I figured that out. Sometimes, you have to like do it again and again to really get there. But again, I love this. Like again, the shadow, it's similar to what I was saying about Ahmed's work, is that when the work is so strong across the board, for me, it's sort of obvious for me to pinpoint certain areas that I think could just be improved a little bit so the whole thing is strong. And again, this is one of those moments where the shadow coming down off of your boy here, you've rendered up through, which I love. Again, I love this technique that you're using with all these beautiful, warm and cool colors. But I think we got to show the artist grace, whether or not it is you as well. I haven't actually seen that at the bottom yet. Is yeah, let's fill that in with a cooler color, one of these cooler, metal tones that you have. By the way, I'm sorry just to be talking. I don't know if I've never taken a breath less. I'm just here. I'm dialed in, y'all. I apologize. This is why I don't Skype and work at the same time because I'm just dialed in. Again, love all these different metals, love all these glowy glows. It's really giving Nick Filardi because Nick Filardi is so good with those glows, man. And so I love it. I do like to see a little more like texture sometimes in my glows, like just it's nothing crazy, but sometimes just like a little spattering or like a little bit of like a overlay on the textures. If this is something that you want to discuss, I did see that you sent me a Dropbox link thingy through the Nib and Ink Dropbox review for access, because I would love to look at these pages on the drop and see if we can discuss further on certain things like this. Because yeah, I don't know. I just would love to see it not look so Photoshoppy, if that makes sense. And again, I would be careful about defining some of these hard edges. I always catch myself doing it as well. You got to make, sure that you're following the line art. And again, apologies if this is your line art. I'm not trying to say that, I'm making too many qualifiers. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm just peace and love here. I just want to see these areas brought back in outside of the glow. It's just something I try to think about myself, but I make mistakes all the time, and I'll end up leaving a glow going over a line. Ugh, coloring Wonder Woman is sometimes very difficult in that way because we're always working with background atmosphere, and I'll have to make sure Diana's line art is not being over encumbered on the sides in any way. I want to make sure she's standing proud away from that atmospheric stuff. So just in a few places on these formers, I would see that. Ooh, sorry, I haven't looked at this one yet. That's exciting. This is where those heats and these glows are really singing. We have some hard edges, hot edges. You can tell I'm really excited by warmth. There's a lot of hard edges. I want to see these sort of broken up. And feel free to paint into it. You're a very established modeler and painter. Like you're here doing it. So I would just paint in. And sometimes, time is of the essence. I've definitely been there where hard edge is gonna have to be what it is. But I would definitely paint into these a little more on top of these little call outs. Boop and then boop. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but there are these little chunks in the line art. And I would just define those with those like hotter places to really get the sense that this is, an explosion that's coming towards us, like the heat of it is coming towards us. But yeah, I really like again these renderings. Ooh, there's more. Ooh, I love this soft rendering. Oh, that's really nice. Great colors. Great. Just I'm obsessed. I love this. I love how soft it is, but also again this animation-y level look. Oh, yeah, I really like this. I'm annoyed. I get annoyed when I'm happy. Is that normal? Oh, look at you go. I love this character. What is this book? I need to know what this is. This looks awesome. Yeah, your rendering on this is lovely. Lovely, lovely. And these colors are exceptional. Oh, this is lovely. Sorry, I'm just taking it in. I don't think I have any outright critique. I think, except for the K part, maybe. I mean, maybe there's some K here, but I really, maybe just in the purple and the reds. These are just beautiful. Oh, wow. Well done. Very cool. Oh my gosh, you ended it on a very high note indeed. Again, just to go back to how much I love these little spots of rendering. I think that's again something good for everybody to think about. It's these little exceptional things that just make the whole thing sing. Sometimes it's too much depending on the art, depending on the story. But I think for something like this with these lush characters and their costumes, like those little details, those little effects are just so like chef's kiss. And I love this one. No hard edges here, dog. Look at that. I love these little shrubbies and your little rendering under the plane. Oh, and you got your two guys over here. I just saw good storytelling for color, eh? Yeah, I love it. Really love it. I guess if I had a nitpick, if it was my page, if it was my panel, I might just make that sun a little bit wider, like hotter. And I don't know if I would use these glows. For me, I don't know if they're necessary. But I mean, if you like them, keep them. Sometimes it's like, again, a subjective thing. If you like them, they're yours. But otherwise, yeah, I just think this is a really good wheelhouse to find yourself in. Oh, I just noticed the puking on the left. Wow, very nice. Very, very nice. And a good use of the hold line scene to keep these separate. Yeah, love. Really, really enjoy. Yeah, I'm just enjoying looking at it now. So yeah, amazing, Carlos. I really enjoy these as well. I would, if this is more of your recent work then, and this stuff is more of like your older work, though it is great as well. Like, feel free to like, if you still want to discuss it, but I feel like these feel like I've seen a lot of growth just between these. Um, Maybe this is just more your wheelhouse though. So stay here. This is a good wheelhouse. This is very good. And again, this page, these panels, giving me Maury vibes, who is again champion among humans. Very good colorist. Incredible. I think that's kind of it for me, unless Carlos had any questions, or if anyone else had any questions, or if we've had any other portfolios submitted. I may also want to see this a little brighter in the background, and that's my last thought. Yeah. Joan, any thoughts? Any folks, any questions, any other portfolios that got thrown in the mix?
Uh, I know we did get another submission. We are about an hour uh in terms
I
of
talk a lot.
time.
I talk
Yeah.
for England. Well, I can have one quick look at that if everyone wants, but if no worries, if people are over it, I wouldn't mind. Don't look at their emails. I'm covering it with my hand. That's useless. Amanda. Oh, can we look at it, Joan? Do we have time?
Yeah, I mean, I think if we're fine on tech, we should be able to do a quick one.
Let's do it. I want to look at my downloads. All right. I'm gonna FN. Wow. Wow. Oh, someone rendered buildings. How dare you make the rest of us humble humans have to meet this level of rendering buildings? These are very nicely rendered buildings, Amanda. That's not, I'm happy that you've done this. It looks good, but from my heart, I realize I have more to do now. Thank you for making more work for me. No, these are fabulous. And again, back to that note about being approachable. This feels very, very nice in a commercial sense. Like DC, I think, would love this. Marvel would love this. Got that shine, that shimmer, while being playful and fun. And I like these like texture uses as well. They're very fun. For me, I think I would probably just push them all back to like a white, but that's kind of predictable. I like this in some places. So maybe we can work with some variety. Maybe some of them are brighter and some of them are maybe even a different color. I don't know, like a blue or a pink or. But wow, look at you go. This is really good rendering. I love this. This is very sleek. Very nice. I'd love to know if you drew this as well. Again, because horses and buildings. Who is this person? This is too much goodness. You're not allowed to have all of this on lock and one person. I love these red cop car thingies. Perfect, excellent. Rendering of smoke. No hard edges, baby. I love that. Love this. Yeah, so far no comments except for again compliments and a little use of K here. Looks like maybe you're using RGB though, perhaps, or maybe it's because it's an RGB portfolio. Ooh, and I do see we have some of these color hold lines that I'm not personally a fan of when a glow goes over your black line art. Everything else is really, really lovely, but these are these tiny things that are only going to push the work further. So I would make sure you're mindful of keeping your black line separate from your glows from unless it's a necessary thing. But then I would make sure it's coming up to it. You know what I mean? Like to the whole line of the ship. Really enjoy this like nice dark off tone color muted for the bright line. Again, very good, very mindful. Nice again, this mundane room lighting, in the sense that we were talking about earlier as well. With I think was it Allison's work is that these are hard things to establish and still make them interesting, but this is lovely. Really like it. Oh wow. You're very good with your bright colors. I love it. Yes, these are all very nice as well. We've got a nice passage of colors through. Your gutters look clean. I think again, a little K. I'd be concerned about how these would print. Um, but I think they're lovely. And it could be something where you can keep a lot of these dark colors, but just make sure you're commanding, I think M, right, command M for the curves and have a look at how much K you have or UCMYK sliders. I love these pink glows. These are great. And again, this nice little shine coming through. and panel 3 behind the shoulder where the swipe line is moving through. Really nice, really, really nice. Ooh, and these pages are very, very soft and lovely. I really enjoy your rendering style, your approach, and how you changed it across these few pages. These pages on the right seem like they're going to have more texture slightly. Um, and all these grays, beautiful, really nice. I would maybe, again, small nitpick. I feel maybe I wish that the character was a little less warm because it is so cool, but that's such a nitpick. I think for me, I would just want to make her or them a little cooler. I don't know, a little cooler. Oh wow, and that's that whole portfolio actually. So look at that, Joan. We did great. I feel like, yeah, my last comment then on this, if this is the last page, is the figure when they're going into the mist. I would like to see some color hold, I think, because just I feel like the black, I do appreciate that we're still seeing the figure, but it really does look like their top half's just been cut off. So I think having that gradation through the line, through the color to show the top part of the figure really disappearing into the mist as well. But yeah, beautiful stuff. Really, really tight professional stuff here. I really like it. Really, really good. Just keep an eye on your K, keep your color holds pure. And I guess you did have these other colors here too. And yeah, no more building rendering like this. It's too good. You're making the rest of us have to work twice as hard. You know, no, you keep rendering buildings to your heart's content. They look great. You're very good at it. Again, I'm annoyed. I'm jealous. Very good. So yeah, I think that's it for me then, Joan.
Wonderful. Yeah, we had some comments. Just looks like they only did colors. And on the first page, being the first page in the book, so Amanda went 110% with it, and just thank yous.
Heck yeah, good. Yeah, I love it. Well, I'm glad that at least they're not a great horse drawer and a great building renderer. That would just be too much goodness in one body, as I said. But no, really lovely. I'm really looking forward. Again, another person, Amanda. I don't know how long you've been in the chat, but I've been very good about trying to remind everybody. If you ever want to continue to mail me your work, email me your portfolio, email me questions that you have after this as well. Please feel free to do so. I'm definitely here as a resource for all of you who are here today.
Wonderful. Uh, well, thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. Jordie, thank you so much for going over everything here. This was
Oh,
so
heck yeah.
delightful to watch
Oh,
and look through everyone's amazing work. Uh,
yes.
yeah, if folks who are being reviewed in chat, definitely feel free if you would like to um, promote your work. Definitely sound off in the chat here on Zoom if you want to uh, boost your work with everyone here. If you want to um, tag the Cartoonist Co-op to get to shout out the portfolio review, please do. And yeah, we will see the rest of you online for the rest of the Nibbit Inkfest events that we have running. Our next one coming up this weekend, we have Having Fun with Backgrounds coming up
Mm.
in just about an hour. So you don't want to miss
Ooh.
it. Uh, and yeah, thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you for having me, and thank you again for everyone listening to me talk for so long. I appreciate all of you very much.
Yeah, take